Good morning. Hi, we're going to start the recording, so welcome people who are watching later on YouTube. All right, and when you come down onto your back, so once you come onto your back, you can keep the knees bent in the stance that we have, like when we're doing our constructive rest with the feet towards the outer edges and the knees towards each other. But most importantly, a tricky place, but you want to have your shoulders, your armpits are going to be on the front side, up towards the front of your mat. They may not completely touch, that's okay, but you don't want them to sort of be half hanging off. So you kind of have to play around with it. And it's also not, we're not just supporting the lower back, it's mostly, the lower back is not on at all. It's the mid part of the upper back. And then your shoulders might relax down and your armpits are just at the top of the blanket. And then you can kind of wiggle around and see, maybe you want the shoulders touching the blanket, kind of just make sure your lower back is happy. The best place would be to have your feet on the floor first. That's the safest place for your back first. And the feet can be wide. You can certainly then let the toes maybe come in like a little pigeon toed and let the knees touch. Arms can be kind of midway, not all the way down to the sides, but maybe not all the way out to a T. That's a little bit more active, especially on your lower back. So you can just rest the back of the arms on the blanket. And then maybe just lift your chin a little bit. And if you are feeling a little tightness in your back, if you want to open up the knees, and then just maybe it's an inch or 2 inches, just kind of massage the lower back if you feel that would be helpful. And settle in. And once you have done your fidgeting and you kind of feel like you could stay there for a little bit, a nice deep breath in through the nose and then just out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I just muted you all so you don't have to worry. And just notice how that feels on your shoulders and on your chest. Certainly if it's uncomfortable and it's not something that your body is really interested in doing, then you can just take it away. But if you are there, sticking with your natural breathing rhythm, but maybe just notice that there's a little bit more expansion through the muscles in your chest, and the collarbone maybe broadens. Closing the eyes if you haven't already. And maybe noticing sort of the fine delicateness to your breath. Or even the idea of like a soft brush in the back of the throat with the breath. Let your arms, make sure they're somewhere where you can relax them. Fingertips. Fingers are just soft. We've been working with this idea of growing bigger from the inside out. And I think it was on Monday, I read something from the book, A Year of Living Your Yoga. It says, allow yourself to become bigger, a bigger container to hold all of life. As you breathe, visualize your awareness expanding until it holds this whole moment as it is. The sounds, smells, take it in and then let it go. Just observe Anything that's floating in your mind, imagine that they're just clouds and you're going to just let them float by. You can always pick them up after class if you need them. Notice the rising and falling of your breath, especially the falling, sort of that ah sensation maybe that you feel somewhere within the body. Just arriving just as you are at this moment. If you'd like to change the arms, if you have them closer towards the sides and you want to open to the T, feel free to do that. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose and let it out through the mouth wherever you are. Maybe notice any physical sensations. Maybe you need to move. Maybe you're starting to feel the broadening of the chest. Maybe the breath feels a little bit deeper in the chest. Whatever. Just notice what it is for you. If you'd like to explore, you can take one leg long. Try that, and then maybe the other one. Just being mindful of your back and certainly letting the thighs roll away from each other, bringing them at least hip width apart, if not a little bit wider. Let the feet just float away to either side. Checking in with your mental body and also your attitude today. So where are you starting from today? And flipping the palms down, and then just slide the hands to the sides, bringing the hands onto the belly. Bend your elbows, either widen the arms or keep them close, whatever feels comfortable, that you can just relax the arms and the hands. You don't even have to make sure they're touching. Just let the hands kind of slide wherever comfortable. And take a breath in through the nose. Feel that belly rise. Draw the breath up through the rib cage all the way into the chest. Maybe even roll the shoulders away from each other. As the breath comes into the chest, and then exhale and just surrender. Let go of the fingers, the hands, and take it again. So inhale. Feel the belly rise, the fingers maybe sliding away. It's fine. Breathe all the way up through the rib cage, into the chest, rolling the shoulders, maybe even lift the chin. And then exhale and soften chest, rib cage, and belly. All right, one more time, and maybe exaggerate it a little bit more if that feels comfortable. So inhale, and slide maybe towards the hips. Belly gets full, rib cage expands, chest lifts, chin lifts, and then exhale, soften, chin, chest, rib cage, belly. Let the hands just float to the sides again, palms facing up. Keep your eyes closed, but take your feet and just bring your toes kind of in towards each other, like lift the legs, lift the knees a bit, just roll in and then out, in and then out. You can do it slow, you can do it a little bit more vigorous. It's up to you. You might start to feel yourself kind of shimmying on your sacrum as you get a little momentum with the feet in and out. Back of the head slides a little bit. And then relax the feet. And then we'll take, might be a little difficult to get your hands and comfortably on your chest, so you can do that. Take one hand to the chest, then the other, or just leave the arms as they are. Take a moment to reflect on something you're grateful for at this moment, and maybe lift the chin a little bit up towards the ceiling, arching the back of the neck. And slowly release the chin, start to walk the feet in. Lift your hips, bring your arms to the sides, lift your hips way over towards the right so that you can just slide over onto your side. Take 3 breaths there, just relax as you are there. And eventually making your way up to a comfortable seat. Take your time. And then you can take the blanket off to the side. And if you want to, if you have a block at home or you have, if you're using books and wrapping them with a towel, being creative, then you can come into Hero's Pose or just come into your cross-legged Sukhasana pose. I'm going to do Hero's Pose today. I'm crossing my legs a lot. I'm teaching, so I'm going to change it up. So if you are using a block or you're sitting in Hero's Pose, you can also use 2 blocks. You're going to bring the sides of your feet in close towards the block, and then you're basically sitting with your hips towards your heels. So if you are in cross-legged pose, just feel free to wiggle a little side to side, maybe lift the flesh, and find your comfortable seat. A couple little pelvic tilts, maybe take right hand behind you with the palm to the back, and then the belly. The other hand and kind of tilt forward a little, up and down, finding that neutral spine, and then bringing the hands to the thighs. Take a breath in through the nose, let it out through the mouth. Take your time to get set up. We'll meet you here. Relax the shoulders. And then just notice a new orientation here with your body. Whenever you're ready, take your arms up over the top of the head. Take a nice deep inhale and then flip the palms so they're facing down and bring them down. Inhale, flip the palms facing up. And again, you can do this more energetically, less energetically. Check in with your shoulders. Think about rising up wherever you are, whether you're in Hero's Pose or Sukhasana Pose. Your sitting bones are grounded. The energy's coming up through the side and front and back body and through the top of the head, so you feel some length. Keep going with the flow. You can make it more energetic if you are interested in making it more dynamic. Reach a little bit more as you come with the fingers, and then maybe some resistance as you're coming down, or bend softly and just flow, taking your whole inhalation to rise the arms up, and then your full exhalation, the arms float down. Shake out your head maybe a little bit if you find that you're straining in your neck. And then whichever way you were doing it, we're going to all meet with our palms facing up, just a slight bend into the elbows. And then let the elbows drop a little bit lower. Like imagine that you're holding on to like a little bird's nest or something. And then a little bit lower down with the elbows. They're coming down and in. And then reach up like you're reaching out and you're letting that all the birds fly out of the nest. Lift a little into the chest. Shake your head no to make sure you're not hurting your neck. A lot in the arms, I know. And then flip the palms facing down. The birds took the nest away, don't worry. Good. And then bend the elbows in and relax the arms down. Roll out the shoulders. And then maybe forward a bit. And then we'll take a couple cat-cow stretches here, or movements here. So you can take your hands to your thighs or your knees if you're sitting in Sukhasana pose. So we'll inhale, let the chest rise up towards the ceiling. You choose where you want your chin and your head to go. It doesn't have to go up towards the ceiling. Just feel that nice broadening of the chest. And then you round with your exhalation, pulling the belly button a little back towards the spine. Feel that nice stretch in the upper, lower, and mid back. Upper, mid, and lower back. So go back a few times. Your choice. You can make it more exaggerated, or you can just keep it like a little meditation. Inhaling fully, and then exhaling, releasing the breath completely as you push the belly a little towards the spine. Thinking of it as a massage for the spine. Good. And then coming back up to the center, you can take your legs, come off of your hero's pose, or you can take your legs out and switch them into the other position. Sorry, stay in hero's pose, but switch your legs. I was thinking there. And then once you're there, we're going to do a little bit more with our arms. So reach forward. So let's actually reach forward with the palms down first. And then think about, instead of just flipping the palms, think about externally rotating. I'm going to do one at a time so you can see. Externally rotating your shoulder out and down. Right? So instead of just flip the palms, you automatically get a little rotation in the shoulders, but really think about externally pulling them in a little bit, out and then down. And then have your palms facing out. It's kind of energetic. You can bend at the elbows, and you can certainly drop the arms and relax them on the thighs, or do one at a time. So reach out. We're going to just tap. And it might not touch. Just imagine that you're going to tap that shoulder. Let's just do one at a time. If you're feeling really energetic, keep them both there. Just one at a time. So it's a nice little stretch in a place that typically it's hard to get to. Right behind the shoulder, unless you're getting a massage. Yeah. So if you keep the elbow as lifted as you can, you reach through the fingers, the arm, like it's reaching out a little bit, and then you're bringing it around. But just one more time. It's pretty energetic, and you can feel a little strengthening going on there too. So then externally rotate the other arm. So you're going to, as you flip the palm, you're going to rotate out and down, let the shoulders set, and then reach a little bit forward with the fingers, and then just keeping the elbow in line with the shoulder. Just try and see, it doesn't matter really where you reach, just bend and imagine your fingertips are going back behind you. If the fingertips happen to touch, that's a bonus. Good. Try to relax your face, even maybe shake your head yes instead of no. Good. Great. And then you can relax, roll the shoulders any way you want, up or back or both. And then you can come over off of the knees, stretch the legs out in front of you, bend into your left leg, and you can start with the foot if you want to, or just work into the leg, giving yourself a little massage. Use the friction of your finger pads and your fingers to create a little heat there. Feel free to go all the way into the feet if you want to. Good. And then you're going to lift that foot up, lengthen your right leg with the foot flexed towards the front. Maybe lift the flesh away. You want that inner thigh to kind of roll inward, toes face up. And then you can cross the foot over to the other side. You can certainly keep it inside here too if that's more accessible. See if you can try to cross it over and then slide the knee towards the midline, knee into the middle, like not letting it go off to the side, but see, you can either hug it towards the chest and into the center, and you start to feel a little stretch here in the left side. Make sure that you don't let this other foot kind of go off duty. And then you can stay here, you can thread underneath with your right arm, kind of hug it in, or you can take your arms in the front and hug it in, and then try to relax the shoulders, try to settle into your seat. It's more of just a little, and if you're not really feeling that there at all, then you can always bend this knee and bring it back behind you, but I'm banking on the fact that you're feeling a little bit. All right, and then inhale, release. Take that foot and then just let the thigh roll out to the side. So I don't know what your prop situation is. Sometimes it is nice to have something. If your knee is not comfortable rolling out to the side, it starts to bother the hip. It's really nice to bring the ground up. So feel free to do that. Or I might even just kind of hold on to my, my knee here today. And then make sure that this leg is active. Come sitting up nice and tall. Use your right hand just to press. Thumb and first finger go into the hip crease, press down, inhale and exhale. You can relax the kneecap, you can relax the leg, the right leg, just let the toes stay facing up. Obviously, if you go let the leg come down, it's a little bit different. You might even have the hands to the sides. You might be feeling it. Try to keep your hips facing the front. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. Release the shoulders. You can start to take that leg and slide it out. So notice one leg feels a little bit different than the other, and then we'll massage into the right leg. So just a little friction so you feel a little heat. Your knee needs a little extra tension. A little extra tension. Anywhere, even all the way into the foot. And then we're going to lift that leg up, draw it in close, or cross it over. Make sure this leg is long, and then you can plug it in, bring it towards the midline. If you feel pinchy here in your hip, then don't squeeze it in so tight. You might even be feeling it with the leg here. Just don't let it just kind of hang out. Just hold on to it here. Keep your chest lifted. If you're not, then you're going to draw it in towards the middle. Not necessarily in just into the chest. It's middle and then in. Definitely feel a little hip stretch going on there. Relax the shoulders. One more nice deep breath in. Exhale out. And then release. And then step the foot back over. Bring the sole of the feet in towards the thigh. Maybe it's further down. That's okay. And then if you need support on this side, you can stick a block or a pillow or your blanket. And then hang out. Try not to sink down and let everything kind of go off duty up here. Keep your spine, your neutral spine. Think about sitting bones coming down as you're rising up with the head. You can also move the prop, like kind of pull the prop out as you get a little bit more opening of the prop there. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And then let it out through the mouth. And slowly release. Take the prop out if you had a prop. Point and flex. And then open up the legs. Bend at the knees. Hold underneath the thighs. And you have the option if you want to. Kind of sometimes naturally it feels good to do a little straddle stretch. But if you want to do that, feel free to do that. I'm just going to stay here for those of us who might be interested in doing that. So take your hands behind you, and then you can meet us here. Lift your chest, and then just let the knees kind of fall in towards each other. And you kind of decide whether you keep it nice and light, and you let go a little into the torso, or you make more of a twist, and you lift opposite. Your knees are going one way, your hip is lifting the other way. So open the lower back. And then we'll come up a little bit closer. You're going to take your right arm, and you're just going to bring it around to the side, and then you can continue to go all the way over if you're going to tap either your waist or your shoulder if you want to. Inhale through the center, get a little momentum maybe, feeling the sitting bones as you move back and forth. And you can choose to go slower, or you can choose to go with a little bit more momentum. After you've done a couple on each side, you can also turn all the way around, lifting up a little bit here. Using that opposite hand to lift your hips a little bit. It's just another place to go. So just find your rhythm. And once you've done one more on each side, then I'll meet you in our neutral table pose. Coming up into your neutral table pose. So imagine that you are like a coffee table, and you have legs and arms supported. Come into a cat-cow here. So feel the chest lift. Exhale, round upper back, maybe all the way down into the lower back, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. Closing the eyes, using it as a little meditation. So as you feel the inhalation coming, you naturally let the chest rise. As you feel that exhalation coming, let the full exhalation out as you round the spine, pulling the belly in. So no pressure, like that saying. Don't create pressure, just create opportunity. don't have to make it to your fullest expression to make it beneficial. Good. And then come back to the center, sway your hips a little side to side. And like a little pendulum, you can drop your head and let the neck be nice and heavy. Good. And then give your hands and wrists a break coming into puppy pose, or you can go back into extended child's pose where you open up the knees and slide the hips back. So you get to pick. Puppy pose, you're going to keep the hips high, feel on your forearms here, and you can choose to shimmy back and forth a little bit. Don't bring the shoulders too far forward, but just shimmy a little back and forth. Broaden through the collarbone. Try not to sink the shoulders in towards the ears. Broaden the collarbone. Feel the breath going and broaden through the upper back in between. The shoulder blades are expanding. If you're in extended child's pose, you can also play around with walking your hands over to the left. Taking a few breaths there. You can stay in your puppy pose and walk the hands further forward to get into the shoulders. So choose, take about 4 more breaths wherever you are. If you're in extended child's pose, go ahead and bring your hands back to the center. If you are walking them, and take them over towards the right. Letting that left hip settle as your hands are over towards the right. Breathe deep. Inhale, and then your exhale, kind of surrender into the pose. Good. And then you can bring yourself up nice and slow. Come back up onto your knees. And we're going to take your left leg behind you. Keep a big bend in the knee first. And just curl the toes. See how it feels on the toes. See if you can spread the toes out even a little bit. That's a little tricky, but sometimes your brain and your toes don't see eye to eye. And then you can start to straighten a little bit. Maybe a soft bend into the knee. So you're not hyperextending, but you're feeling more stretch into the hamstring, maybe even the Achilles right behind your back of your heel. And switch to the other leg. Keep a big bend in the knee. Just curl the toes. Imagine that you're just pushing with the toe pads. And then you can start to lengthen. Exploring more of a stretch hamstring, Achilles. It feels good to stay there. Lift the energy up through the arms. Try not to sink into your joints. Good. And then make sure your knees are a little bit closer than hip width apart. And you're going to inhale, take that left leg behind you, and then just point the toe and flex the foot. Lift through the arms, chin slightly. You're looking down or slightly forward towards the top of your mat. Feeling nice and strong, point and flex. And then bend a lot into the knee. You're going to take the knee, the left knee, and you're just going to cross it behind the right. Walk the knees in towards the center a little bit. If you feel a little off towards the right side, just come back in towards the center. And then you can also do this on your forearms. So we're going to just stay here, and you can kind of shimmy forward and back. See how that feels on your hips. The further you go back, the more you might be feeling this into your hips. So depending upon what type of hip opening you're up for today, you can experiment with this. You can draw little circles with the hips. Try not to, again, sink your shoulders. Think about broadening the shoulders. Use your shoulders to draw away from each other to support you. You got your elbows, your forearms, maybe interlock the fingers. You can bump a little side to side. Experiment with that. Try to find some ease somewhere. You're also not sinking down into your joints. Take one more nice deep breath. And remember, you can stay on the forearms or you can come up high. It's up to you. If you're taking the hips back kind of towards the heels, you can open up the feet a little bit wider as you go back as well. Relax the belly. big hip stretch. And ease into it. And then we're going to unwind. Come to a seat for a moment. Let your legs come out long. And then just kind of tap them a little bit. So that pose that we were doing, it's basically like, I haven't done this in a long time, but cow face pose when you have your feet like this when you're sitting. Yeah, you can also try that if you'd like to someday. All right, and then we'll go back and do the other side. So now you know where we're going, and so you can choose. You can be on the forearms or you can be on the hands either way. Just rock your hips a little side to side. And then this time you're going to walk your left knee in just a little bit, and then take your right leg back, lift the leg up, and you can keep the toes on the ground if you want to, and point and flex here. Or if you're feeling energetic, you can lift. Do a little lift of the chin forward, if your eye gaze is down, or just a little above your hands, and point and flex, and point and flex. Lift up a little into the belly, almost like you feel like you're almost rounding a little into your lower back. Lift the energy. And slowly put the foot down. Take the leg back out, bend the knee, and then lift the leg, cross the left behind. If you're doing a little curtsy, walk the knees in towards the center. And then you come onto the forearms. If you're on the forearms, you can interlock the hands and then use the elbows and the forearms as support, but then spread the shoulder blades, broaden, feel the breath broadening into the back, upper back. And then your choice if you want to circle, you want to drop the head, relax the neck. With some ease. Or you want to inch your way back, taking the hips back towards the feet, widen the feet away from each other a little bit. And check and see how different this is on the other side, maybe. And then see if you can just breathe. Don't create pressure, just create opportunity. You get to choose. And one more nice deep inhalation. And exhale. And slowly unwind. And then you can come to a seat. Stretch the legs. Shake them out. Hopefully you're still there. You didn't drop off because you didn't like that one. All right, good. And then let's come up to standing. So make your way up slowly. Take your time. And I'm going to change my view a little so you can see me. And then once you get to standing, think about just a casual Tadasana. Just bring feet about hip width apart. Just again, noticing you're in a different orientation, different way of being here. And then just come up to the toes like you're just shaking a little bit, and then let the heels drop. This is actually something that's really good for your bones, is to lift a little and then let the heels drop, especially if you're on a carpet or a surface that's not too hard. All right, and then bend the knees a little bit, and then just let the feet kind of rock side to side. So usually we go back and forth, but see if you can roll to the edges of the feet. The knees bend. Maybe try not looking down. Be careful of your ankles. Just kind of notice. And then you can come back up. And then widen your feet a little tiny bit and sway a little side to side. So you can just let the arms relax and just be heavy, like they're just floating in space. Or you can be more active with the arms if there's something else that you want to do. You want to take them over the top of the head. Imagine you're holding onto a beach ball or something. Feel free to mix it up, bend a little into the knees. Maybe close your eyes as you begin to shift the weight a little onto the left leg, coming up onto the big toe of the right foot, and then switch. Weight is on the right. Good, and then lift your shoulders up a little bit more, crown of the head a little bit more. And then we'll start to incorporate the arms in a minute. So now, as you shift back and forth, your legs are getting wider. And you're just bending into the knees, get a little momentum, and then either keeping the toe on the ground, the big toe, or you can shift the weight. Taking it all the way off, and you're just playing around a little with your balance. You can take your hands to your hips. Option is to close the eyes. Make sure you don't have any sharp furniture around if you decide to play around with your eyes closed. You know, like I have a window here. I don't want to go through the window, but all right. And then come back down nice and slow. And we're going to now use the arms. So your feet can be facing forward, or I would like them to be a little bit facing a little out to the sides. And then start to swing your arms as you do the same thing, but you can just keep your toes on the ground. It's up to you if you want to play around with more balance. We'll do something else to balance as well, but just let the arms sway. You can feel if you bring them further away, it's like they're just floating, a little momentum, and then maybe let them one come to the back and one come to the belly. This is actually kind of nice for your internal organs when you give a little motion, a little tapping, fires up circulation a little bit, and eventually making your way maybe up towards your shoulder. Don't try to overdo it, just kind of find your own momentum. You can bend the knees, go further around, bend, get a little more momentum there. Easier to twist more if you bend the knees, or go side to side. Either tapping, or you can use the arms at the waist if that feels good. It's kind of a good way to become a little more energetic too. Maybe in the mornings, wake yourself up and then walk the feet a little closer in. Take our arms in front. Take an inhale and then take a forward fold, exhale. You can fold at the crease of the hips and just let the belly come towards the thighs. Let your arms hang, stay on a flat back, or you can round, grab opposite elbows, widen the feet, sway, just kind of create a shape that helps relieve tension in your head and your back. Check back in with your breath. And then switch the elbows if you're holding on to opposite elbows. Head drop. And then slowly take your hands to the back of your legs and slide your hands up as you press into the feet, helping bring you all the way up. You're breathing on the way up. And then exhale. Beautiful. All right, then we'll try one more balance. So I'm going to go this way so you can see me. So you're going to step forward with your left foot. And we're just going to play around with a variation of Warrior 3, which we've done many times before, in the studio anyway. And Virabhadrasana 3. So take the hands maybe to the sides, away from the body with the arms facing forward. And just think about taking your toe behind you, reaching the toe behind you as far as you can so that you really feel that length. And feel the crown of the head, and then sort of soften somewhere with the chin slightly. And then bend a little into both knees. Let everything soften. And then start to grow out of the feet. Side body, chest lifts slightly, head lifts up. Try it again. Bend a little. Let it all kind of soften. And then feel yourself grow from the toes, back of the leg, front of the leg, side body, chest, out of the crown of the head. And then if you want to explore, you can keep doing that, bending a little bit, and just enjoy that lengthening side body. Take the toes further behind you. Try to keep the hips square to the front, try not to turn to the side. Or you can start to fold a little bit, shifting the weight all onto the left leg. Wherever you are, take a breath in. Find some ease, and then slowly bring that right foot back to meet the left foot. pretty energetic. Walk yourself back a little on your mat if you need to. And then this time you're going to step forward with the right foot. Start to shift the weight a little bit towards the right foot. Find your stance that works. Turn your hips so that they're facing forward. And then start to play around with that back foot. Maybe just coming onto the big toe or just the tips of the toes. Or you keep the toes curled and you keep the toes there and you just keep lengthening. You want to change up the arms, you can certainly bring them in to Anjali Mudra, or you can take them to the hips if that helps you. The hips forward, lengthen, lengthen, and then bend a little into certainly the right knee, but maybe the left knee too. And then reach, reach, reach. Use your breath. Maybe even imagine you're zipping up a pair of jeans to activate your core a little bit. And then one more bend, relax the shoulders, lift and lengthen. This should feel really good on your lower back as you're really pulling away in both directions. You're balancing on that leg, and then step back and bring the right foot back. And then you can step around, shake out the hips. Take a nice deep breath in, rise up. If you want to forward fold, you can forward fold, or just take the arms back down to the side, stand in your Tadasana pose, maybe a little bit more casual Tadasana pose. Feeling a little soft, a little lighter. We'll call it Tadasana light, and then we'll come down onto your back again. So take your time, nice and slow. And make your way down on your back to that constructive rest pose. Your feet are wide. And you can either keep the knees apart or let the knees fall in towards each other. And remember, you can always walk your feet a little bit more forward or closer in, kind of check in with your lower back. Make sure that you're not pressing the lower back down. Find that neutral spine, even shimmy a little bit. Arms on the belly or to the side. One breath in through the nose, let it out through the mouth. And then slowly open up the knees, draw the knees in towards you, but hold on to the kneecaps, keep them a little ways away so that you can feel, it's almost like you're rocking a little on your sacrum, the base of your spine. And then open up the knees and give yourself some circles with the knees. You want to sway the head around while you're doing that, or going side to side. It's up to you. Just think about giving your hips a little love here. And then taking them in the other direction if you're still circling. And notice how your shoulders are involved as well. So you can bring the shoulders in and then exaggerate out a little bit. And then we'll flip the feet up towards the ceiling, hold behind the thighs, and then just rock a little side to side. So remember, if you have your knees in too close, you're going to be rolling. Your spine's going to curl, and that's not as comfortable. So make sure that your knees are far enough away so that you can sway back and forth in a comfortable spot in your spine. You can roll all the way over, play around with that. And then bring the legs back in towards one another. If you have a block, you can slide it underneath of your sacrum here and let your legs float up the wall. Or if you have a chair or a couch or piece of furniture handy, just fold the legs over the furniture with the crease of the knees at the edge. Like if this was a couch, I would have my feet on the couch and my knees at the crease, and then just hang out. If you don't have that, like me at the moment, then just either take your hands underneath your lower back, just to the sides of your sacrum, and let your legs float. Or you don't have to hold. You can just float them up. Let your palms rest on your thighs, or rocks the shoulders. Just enjoy that nice sensation of getting the circulation. You almost feel a little tingling if you stay here long enough. Notice any sounds or smells. Maybe just say to yourself, I am aware of. Notice your physical body. Slowly let the feet float down. And then you can take the legs nice and long. Take one at a time. Bring your hands to your belly. Take a big breath in through the nose. And a soft sigh through the mouth. Be aware of your breath. Just kind of notice if you feel, maybe not consciously, you haven't been thinking, oh, I feel like my breath is longer, or I do feel more space, but just notice now if there was any difference from the beginning and now, any sensations. And noticing is good, because if you are feeling something positive, it helps reinforce that it's possible. It's possible to let go, feel peace, feel grounded, and feel ease. And then slowly walk the feet, bend the knees, walk the feet in, take your hands down to the sides, lift the hips up, and you can go into a full bridge, maybe just a gentle bridge expression, or you can, the hips are just high enough so that you can feel them, that they're off the mat, and then just sway the hips a little side to side, maybe thinking of them as a hammock. You feel a nice massage in the mid-back, actually more like the upper back, just below the shoulder blades. Just make it nice and soft, and then slowly start to let them come down, brushing just a little tiny bit onto the mat. It's almost like you're scooping. If you were laying flat in the sand and you wanted to create a little more comfort for your back, you would kind of shimmy back and forth to find that, to get the lower back to sink into the sand. So you can kind of think of it that way. And then let the back rest. And move into Shavasana. If there's something else that's calling your name right now that you'd like to do, feel free to take those movements before you get ready for your Shavasana. Yeah, so we have about 9 more minutes. So if there's something else, maybe you want to flow into your bridge pose, or you want to take a little twist, letting the knees sway side to side, or just be where you are. I like to give students time to just kind of be curious and listen, and then make the movement carefully. If you had that support or your bolster, you can certainly take it and put it underneath the knees, or go back to that legs up the wall pose. If you have a piece of furniture that you can drape the legs over, or even a wall, feel free to make your way to that as well. You need to put your sweatshirt on or get your eye pillow. Get yourself comfortable. your time to transition. Maybe rocking your head a little side to side. Closing your eyes, bringing your awareness to that soft brush of the breath in the back of the throat. Notice a little less tension in the face. Just let the skin drape off the bone. I'm going to let you stay in your Shavasana and not cue you today, just for something different. And perhaps you might just enjoy the quiet and the birds, or your own music if you have your own playlist going. Just let that breath rise and fall, creating a blissful restoration. And we'll draw you back out in a few minutes. Slowly start to bring your awareness out into the room, maybe rocking your head a little side to side. toes and fingers. If you'd like, you can give yourself a long stretch or draw the knees into the chest, finding your way over onto your right side. And then taking a moment to reflect on something that you're grateful for at this very moment. Allowing yourself to become a bigger container to hold all of life. Going back to your breath at any time throughout your day, your week, your month, to help calm your nervous system and create a little more grounding and ease. Making your way up to a comfortable seat, take your time. And when you're ready, just float your arms up, take a collective inhale, bringing the palms down, letting the palms touch, thumbs to the sternum. Take an inhale through the nose and exhale. Thank you so much for coming, joining, being on your mat today, giving yourself some self-love. And the divine light in me honors the divine light in you. Namaste. I'm going to unmute you.